I don't know what I'm doing. And when I don't know what I'm doing, my mind has a way of convincing me it's safest to just do nothing at all. So that's what I've been doing. A whole lot of nothing, and hating myself for every second of it because really it's not who I am or what I truly want. But when everything feels wrong or not right enough, where do you even start? Vlogging is something I've considered, but could never really see myself doing because I've never really had a great perception of how vlogging would fit me as a person, or what I'm willing or passionate enough about to put out on the internet. Vlogging didn't seem like it was right enough for me in my current state, but then I suddenly one day went, wait, I can break free of these perceived chains and do whatever the heck I want. And so that's what I'm doing. Whatever the heck I want, for better or for worse, and letting the scary internet jury decide if it is of value or not. As they say, the jury is out. Or in this case, in, because you're trapped in this little tech device, although that somehow doesn't make it any less scary. And that's kind of what I've had to do a lot of reflecting about, because the truth is, I'm scared, and I have been for a long time. Which is kind of contradictory because if you know me in person, I'm not really a scared person. I'm actually quite brave and unfazed by most things. Yet somehow what's contained in these little screens of ours has somehow been the one thing that has consistently shook me to my core. The one thing I can't really seem to cope with or move past. And honestly, I have so much to say about why in the state of society and social media as a whole, but I genuinely can't get into it in this video or it will end up being an entire video essay. Trust me, I've tried like 3 times now and I just have too much to say, so I'm sure I will dive into it in the future. But for now, the crux of it is that I've become scared of being vulnerable. Truly vulnerable. Now, I, and I'm sure others that know me, perceive me as someone who is okay with being, and many times is vulnerable, but honestly, as I've learned more about myself and taken a closer look, the vulnerability I have been thinking I wear on my sleeve is really more of a perfectly curated, polished, performable version of itself. I can be vulnerable, but I must express it in the exact right words at the exact right time to the exact right person, or I'm doomed to be misconstrued and what I express be documented and later used against me. I kind of live my life as if someone's out there surveilling me and recording everything I say and do and think even into some master doc they can one day pull out and persecute me with. It's actually gotten really bad, to the point where I have a hard time even knowing who I am when no one's watching. Because in my messed up head, they're always watching. Who's they? I couldn't tell you. And granted, I have OCD, so a lot of these fears are pretty ghostly and taken to an unhealthy extreme. But OCD aside, I do think it's a feeling a lot of us are starting to relate to as time goes on, and we feel more accessible as individuals to every person alive, rather than what used to be normal, which was our own small communities and who we could be bothered to reach via letter. And don't get me wrong, a lot of good has become of that connectedness, but I just don't think any of us have actually figured out how to cope with this new world of being observed. It creates an atmosphere of permanence that makes me at least, feel like everything I say and do already has to be perfect the moment it comes out, because I will need to be able to answer for it from the present until the end of time. There's no room for experimenting, there's no room for being in the wrong, there's no room for not knowing every single ounce of context about every single lived moment, because one moment of being misinformed or phrasing something in the wrong way could just like that become something the internet makes you answer for the rest of your life. It's hard. On everyone. And the more fearful we get, the more the cycle continues. People latch on to this culture of purity out of fear of being impure themselves and what that might mean for them down the line if they don't obtain the upper hand. And so this culture, paired with my own crippling fears, have left me stuck. For a while. Because I didn't feel perfect enough to move forward. I didn't feel safe enough. I guess I thought that if I waited long enough and thought about it enough and went to enough therapy and contextualized things for just one more month, I would one day feel strong enough to take action, to be free of fear. Or maybe I was waiting on the world to change or something, like maybe one day I would wake up and it would have all been a bad dream and society would somehow be kinder and more forgiving than I remembered. But the truth is, that day will never come. For me or you. You know, I knew I wanted to film this video at the botanical gardens and thought, what a perfect time. The lilacs are in bloom and it can be a pretty little spring vibe. But the lilacs are gone now. I waited too long. I waited and waited for the right day, the day I would wake up and feel it was right enough. But have any of us ever felt that way truly? Can we even define what that means for things to be right? I'm wearing new sneakers. Do you like them? I clearly do because they have sat in my closet for 2 months now, completely unused. I've been scared, terrified even, to put them on, even though my other sneakers have worn holes through them in multiple places. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. How could I ever feel ready to put them on and ruin their purity? When would it ever feel like the right time? I guess at some point, walking in shoes that's heel collar has completely worn out and now scrapes on my ankles anytime I wear them became a more comfortable choice to make than simply allowing myself to exist in new shoes. New shoes that I'm so convinced I will spoil that I don't even dare put them on, or let them live out their purpose. I can protect and display the shoes as sculptural objects for as long as I want, but that doesn't actually change their purpose or the fact that they are still shoes. And really the worst part was holding myself to the impossible task of deciding which day was right enough to finally wear them. Because now that they're on my feet and I'm walking around this beautiful place, I've hardly given thought to them at all. All I can really think about is the breeze on my cheeks and the light through the trees cascading into the grass beneath my feet, beneath new shoes that have finally met the breath of life. Because shoes are made to walk in. They can endure a lot if you let them. And you and I were meant to wake up and get out of bed and move forward, even on the days that don't feel right enough. So that's what I'm gonna do. And it may not be right, but did that ever really mean it was wrong? Thanks for watching.